Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new around here, I make videos for anyone who's looking to try and improve their chess in the club rating level, beginner level, any level really, and I'm just documenting my chess journey, the things I'm learning, and all of that. So if that sounds interesting, please consider subscribing. I would greatly appreciate that. In today's video, I'll be making a series on the Bronstein-Larsen and the Tartakower. Today would be the first video. Actually, let me take these headphones off. Today would be the first video. And I'll be showing you lines with GF6. They're very interesting actually. I've always wanted to learn this opening, and today we'll be finally learning it. So the opening starts with E4, C6, D4, D5, just the basic Caro-Kann. Sorry, I've got a 92. Take, and here knight f6. I normally, if you've seen some of my videos, you know I always love to play 97. But knight f6 is more just direct. Now, either way, if white takes, either way we take, we damage our pawn structure. So it's a bit of a controversial opening. I think it's very popular in the 1970s. And then it kind of lost a bit of popularity. But I think it's quite popular in the modern day as well. I know it is at least kind of online. I'm not sure if it's used that much in classical tournaments at the very highest level, but it's definitely a great weapon if you're around, if you're just kind of just a club rated player. So anyway, white has a lot of moves here. You can go c3, go knight f3, you can go bishop c4. There's lots of different moves, but today I'll be continuing with knight e2. It's not the most common move, but you probably need to know it if you do want to start playing this opening. So black here, we just continue bishop f5, knight g3 is played, bishop g6, and now white continues here h4. Now h4 actually looks quite scary. When I first saw that, I was wondering if it would go h6 or h5. After h6, this is not that favorable for black, because after h5, this pawn's a bit this bishop will always have to guard this pawn. So here instead we actually go h5. Now, our position kind of looks a bit weird. We've got these doubled pawns, this pawn's all the way up here. But as you'll see, this is actually fine for black. Bishop e2 is the most played here, because white just wants to win this pawn. We continue with knight d7. I encourage you to find out why white cannot go knight h5 or bishop h5 straight away. I'll let you pause the video and work it out. So if you did pause the video, it's because we can just take, and go queen a5 and win. So white cannot do that. So instead, white goes c3 to stop this check. Either way though, we still go queen a5 because we still want to guard this pawn. Now the main move here is a4, but I think the move that will be played the most in your games and in my games would be b4, because white just wants to win a pawn here, and it's still a main line. Now we go queen c7. So we could have gone queen c7 a bit before, queen c7 now, and then takes, but instead we went queen a5 because we want to encourage white to weaken this pawn. So knight h5 is played, and now we take with the bishop. We could go a5, that's kind of our idea in the position. But after knight f4, white's going to take this, and this pawn structure, we're not going to have the semi-open g-file. That is the whole kind of reason behind this. So we actually, probably to your surprise, or I was quite surprised, we actually just take. After bishop h5, we play a5 now. Now it's interesting, this position, we're down a pawn. But as you'll see, we actually have great compensation. Now we continue a game from here. I'll just be following a game and speaking about it. So bishop g4 was played in this game. Now black continued by taking. The reason why white moved his bishop is because I don't think white wanted his black's rook to just be kind of just have vision on this, because then the queen can't move. So white quickly kind of made a prophylactic move and just moved this out of the way, because white wants to move his queen. So now we take. After takes, now you see we are down a pawn, but these pawns are kind of weak, this very weak squares here, so we will be infiltrating these. Now, black continued here with f5. f5 is a very interesting try. The idea is if takes, we play e6 and takes. We're still down a pawn, this pawn's isolated. However, white did not take, white went bishop e2. And now after bishop e2, black continued here, queen d6. Hitting both of these pawns. Queen b3 was played, and now we play knight b6. Now we're looking at all these weak squares. Now we're using our compensation, because our compensation here is, first of all, we have an open g file, semi-open g file. Also, it's not very clear where white's king is going to go. Can't really castle queenside, and if he castles queenside, then we can go rook g3. So the position, if white's king's not very safe here, and if we want to, we can maybe open up with e5 and try and attack this king, or after we castle our king. So even though we are down a pawn, this position for black is very, very playable, and it's very practical. I feel like I would be very happy playing a position like this, because the plans are fairly clear. Now bishop b2 was played. Now knight a4 was played, trying to get rid of that bishop pair, because even though white is up a pawn, we do have compensation, but white has a bishop pair, what we probably want to take. Rook d1 was played. We taking rid of the bishop pair. Now bishop g7. Now it's a middle game. We've got opposite coloured bishops, which means we want to attack. If you're in a middle game and you've got an opposite coloured bishops middle game, you want to be the side attacking, because your bishop, when it's attacking your opponent's bishop, it can't really defend if your bishop's attacks. So you want to be the side attacking. So by bishop g7, we pin this pawn, and it's quite an aggressive move. White continued here a3. Rook d8 was played. Queen c2 was played. Now e6, defending this pawn. Rook h3 was played, trying to get this rook in the game. And now we just take bishop d4. H5. And now queen f4. We want to get it out of this pin. And we're already looking at threatening very nasty ideas. Our pawn structures, it's okay. And we can also go rook g2. So anyway, we continue here. White continued here with bishop f3, e5. We're using the fact that we have this extra pawn in the center. That's something to keep in mind in this opening. Rook g8, g3 was played. Queen e5 was played, threatening to go bishop c3. Takes, and queen d4. Now this bishop will be falling. We win back the material after f4. This position is really just coming across, really coming apart. And after rook g3, I encourage you to try find the winning combination. What happens after ef5? You can pause the video, takes, and just checkmate. So I thought it was very interesting. I think I will be starting to play this opening. I will try and get some games, some rapid games. But I can go over it really quickly. I was covering knight e2 today. In other videos, I'll be covering other moves. Knight e2 is actually not the main move, by the way. But you always want to kind of learn I find learning the sidelines first can be very helpful. So it goes like this. I can put the PGN in the description if you want to go over it as well. Queen c7. You can always pause this video and go back and stuff. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did get any value, please leave a like up. And I will be making multiple videos on this series so you can learn it in great detail and hopefully get some wins. And thank you for watching this video. I really appreciate your time and concentration. And have a good rest of your day.